Hi guys, so here Anwari here, co-founder of Sublime Trading, here with your daily update for the UK and US indices for Friday the 24th of April. Okay guys, hope you're well. If you're new to these daily updates, then I recommend starting with the recording that's pinned to the top of our Facebook page to get a good understanding of what I go through in these daily updates. Okay, so as always, this is our 3-screen setup, monthly in the top left, weekly in the top right, and our daily chart down here across the bottom. Starting with the FTSE 100, not much change on this at all, still finding support at the low of February 2016. It's been a bullish April so far, but is this a temporary bullish move to the upside before a continuation to the downside, or is this a bull revival with price looking to move back to the low of 2019? We really need price to make a clear move for us to get an indication of what intends to do. If we move across to the weekly time frame, we can see that price is still below the 200 moving average and the 50 simple moving average. Price still going through this pullback from this move to the downside, and we can see this in more detail on the daily. Price is below the 200 moving average, below the 50 moving average, but still in this mini area of consolidation. What we want to see now is a breakout above this high to suggest strength, or we want to see support levels broken, particularly the low of March, to suggest further weakness. For now, we really want to be standing aside until we get a clear trend direction. Moving into the US indices, starting with the Dow Jones Bullish April so far, price still remaining above the low of 2019, which is acting as support. If price closes above this level, then we could potentially see strength, or this could simply be a temporary bull revival before a continuation back to the downside. There is no clear trend direction based on the monthly, so we really want to be standing aside. And we can see that on the weekly in more detail. We had this weakness which took price below the 50 and the 200 simple moving average. We then had the pullback come in towards the end of March, which has taken price to the 200 simple moving average, and we can see that price is currently finding comfort around this area. We come down to the daily time frame, price is below the 200 moving average, finding resistance at the 50 simple moving average and support at the 20 simple moving average. So we can see that price is really inside a squeeze, bit of a consolidation really. Ultimately, if we get a break above this high, then we could see strength. If we start seeing support levels broken, then of course we could see further weakness. Again, no clear trend direction. We want to see a breakout. Similar sort of setup on the S&P 500. Price is trading above the low of last year, which is acting as support. A bullish looking April. On the weekly, price is still above the 200 moving average, which is positive. The pullback took price through the 200 moving average, but below the 50 simple moving average. And on the daily, similar setup, prices in between the 50 and the 20 simple moving averages, which are acting as resistance and support. We want to see a breakout. We see a breakout above this high point, and then we could see strength back to the 200 moving average and the 3,000 round number. If this area is cleared as resistance and confirmed as support, then we could see strength back to the all-time high. If we see support levels being broken, again, particularly the low of March, then we could see weakness to the downside. Moving on to the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq on the monthly is actually leading the way in terms of what's happening on the Dow Jones and the S&P 500. We can see that this is actually finding resistance at the high of 2019. So if this is cleared, then we could see strength back to the all-time high. On the weekly as well, price above the 200 and above the 50 simple moving average. So this bullishness is really taking price above key moving averages, and also on the daily time frame, we can see that price is above all three moving averages, which are coming together to form a strong potential base. What we want to see now is a breakout above this high point to suggest further strength. If price starts weakening and breaking through these moving averages, then we could see weakness back to the downside. For now though, price still very much inside this area of consolidation, which is consistent across all the indices. Moving down to the S&P 500 mini, which tells us about pre-market action, we can see that on the monthly time frame, price is bullish, but inside the annual levels of last year. On the weekly, price is also above the 200 moving average, but below the 50 simple moving average. And same setup on the daily time frame, prices in between the 50 and the 20 simple moving averages, but below the 200 simple moving average. So again, we want to see a breakout, a little bit of bullishness so far today, but overall really this is still inside this area of consolidation. Whether we get a breakout today, by the end of today being Friday, that really is for price to dictate. But if we get a breakout above this high, the 200 moving average and the 3,000 round number, then very much potential for price to move back to the all-time high. Or of course, if support levels start being broken, then we could see weakness back to the low of March, and then if that's cleared, then we could be in a continuation of this bear market. For now, across the board, really no clear trend direction, so we will be standing aside. We'll wait to see how the day ends. Remember, institutions like to come in towards the end of the day, so the end of day candlestick is far more relevant than what's happening intraday, and that will give us an idea of what we can expect through to next week. So I will be back on Monday with an update of how today ends. So that's me for today, guys. Please like, comment and share, and I will see you on Monday. Have a lovely weekend ahead.